Aaron Chase,
Yeah,
welcome to Join the Journey.
it's super weird. I don't feel comfortable.
This is
Yeah,
now
Chase.
my show.
Mm-hmm.
I own this bitch now.
Okay.
How does it feel being interviewed?
Uncomfortable. I
You're
don't.
very fidgety. Do you want your fidget square?
Yeah. If it's a fidget cube, please don't be offensive. Thank you. It's uncomfortable.
How long have you been living in Chicago?
It's almost 2 years now.
So 2 years ago, you
Yeah.
packed up in your car,
Yeah.
goofy movie style,
Yeah.
everything thrown on top, and it drove all the way out here with.
Me, it was my girlfriend at the time, my dog at the time, big ass husky, and a cat. It was a Disney movie road trip type of thing. Okay. Do it again? I don't think that.
Max?
Can
You're
you do the
Max.
Owie?
No.
You can't do
Mm-mm.
that? He's, oh, I love that movie.
You are Max.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been 2 years, and it's super surreal. Even like literally.
Still.
Yeah, because every new chapter in this gets weirder and weirder to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting here was, I mean, you remember when you first moved from Texas. When you first moved from Texas, like it was the new shiny toy.
Right.
Chicago's the new shiny toy. You're on the CTA. You're
Right.
going through the city. You're on the neighborhood. You're at these comedy clubs. Everyone's new. You don't know anybody, and you don't know where anything is. And then as time goes by, that kind of settles. That surreal feeling settles, and then another one comes, and another one, and now the surreal feeling is where. In a hotel, and you are hosting for, I'm not going to say the comic's name, but you're hosting for a very famous
Anthony Jeselnik.
Okay.
It's fine.
You're hosting for Anthony Jeselnik, and I'm here. I'm adjacent. You know, I'm in the corner. I'm being Darius. But that's surreal. That's not surreal. You know what I mean?
Anthony, yeah, for sure.
But then every time, the first time we came out here, it was surreal.
Mm-hmm.
The first time when we were
The first time we performed, so yeah, because we're in Madison, Wisconsin, and it was surreal the first time, not because of where we are, but I think because of the experience we had at that mic. That's it. I think that's what made it surreal.
What do you well, because it felt like a show
Because of how great that mic was.
Oh my god, Comedy on State is untouchable.
Might be one of the best clubs in the country.
I mean, I haven't been most places, but yeah, I'm very confident in
They
that.
put the bar so high. I'm gonna be like, how do you?
Yeah, everything from now on is
Everything's
compared.
a comparison here.
Yeah. But so we did the mic, and that was crazy.
Uh-huh.
And then we both got booked. We got booked on the
Best of the Midwest.
Best of the Midwest during that blizzard.
But so Rob.
Yeah, and that was crazy.
Yeah.
The getting a hotel and getting paid to do comedy like that, and being on the road and going to other states, because you can't. I think it's the same in Texas. You can't just drive to other states in California. That's
California
crazy.
and Texas. Those are countries.
Yeah.
Anytime you go anywhere,
So
that's 4 hours minimum.
But the idea that I'm already hitting these states. I've been to Indiana. I've been to Wisconsin. I've been to St. Louis. I'm hitting these states, and I'm going places I've never been before, and to this weekend surreal because Anthony Jeselnik, like sitting and talking with him in the green room is like it's like, man, I saw you on TV growing up. Like I've watched all your specials, and like you're and you're just physically here.
Yeah.
And it's just
surreal.
It's surreal. It's 2 years ago, or maybe a little over 2 years ago. I was barely surviving in Riverside, furious.
Okay. Riverside.
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, I haven't been back
is
yet.
where you're from.
Yeah.
You haven't been back yet. That's true.
Been back yet.
Are you curious?
Yes. You know that. But yeah, I know Yes. Yes, I'm so curious.
What exactly are you curious about?
I'm curious if it's changed. I'm curious how much I've changed. I'm curious.
When you say it's just changed, like physically, like does it look the same?
Yeah, will it look
Okay.
different when I go back?
Mm.
Because I hear they've been building a lot.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Will it look different when I go back? I'm curious. Will it feel? I'm sure it'll feel different.
You think so?
I think it'll feel different because I'm different.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm curious now that I feel like stable in myself. I'm curious how I will feel and react in that place. I've spent 2 years I think after about a year I stopped shitting on Riverside as much.
Gotcha.
Is it timing out?
No, not yet.
Okay. I mean, you remember I hated Riverside. I talked.
Why do you hate Riverside so much?
Why?
Yeah.
Oh,
What? Okay. So we'll break it down. Just living in Riverside as opposed to Chicago. What is the difference for you? How have you grown or not grown in that sense? Does that make sense? The question?
can you reword it?
You in Riverside versus you in Chicago.
Mm.
What is the difference?
My happiness level.
So you weren't happy in Riverside?
No.
Ever?
I wasn't. No.
Okay.
I started to feel happy when quarantine happened. I never wanted quarantine to end for a point. There was a point there when I was like, this is great. I'm surviving off of Postmates. I'm chipping away at my debt. I don't have like a schedule. I don't have a boss. I get so much alone time. It was the first time I got alone time like that. It was so great.
Yeah.
And everyone was away from me. Like in the beginning, I was scrambling. I was messaging people. I needed to do stuff. I was like, I need to keep grinding. I can't stop. I lose all this momentum I've built up, which in retrospect, no, I didn't. I didn't have any fucking momentum.
Right.
And then as things opened up and I had to be around people again, and like my life was going back to normal to some degree,
Mm-hmm.
I could feel this anger and dread and just shittiness.
Right.
It would be like you took a shower and you feel clean, you lathered, you used a washcloth,
Mm-hmm.
which I know you tried you tried experimenting
I did.
washcloth. How did that feel?
Disgusting.
It's weird, right? Like you're not. It's weird, but it's like you've cleaned yourself off.
It's like when you're trying to clean the floor. Like say it's like mopping before you sweep. So you mop and then you'll get the broom and now you just pushing dirt and wetness around.
Yes. It felt like I cleansed myself in a lot of ways. I was real zen, I was real calm, I was in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
And then as it started to open up, it all got dirty. Like immediately it felt gross.
Right.
And then I started freaking out. I was like, what is going on? Like what happened? I fixed in my head. I was like, I fixed it. I did it all. I fixed everything.
Right.
What the fuck is happening? And I realized it was like the environment and the people around me. I know you're a fan of. You're one of your favorite people.
So okay, let's
You want to talk about that?
jump into it.
Okay.
Okay, so you had friends and shit in Riverside, right?
Yep.
What were they like? Was it a tight knit group of people? Was it a Disney Channel original movie of friends?
It was like the Sandlot.
Okay.
It was scrappy. It was real scrappy.
Okay.
Um,
You guys go look for dead bodies and big ass dogs and play baseball and kiss Winnie Peppercorn.
I mean, that movie's
Great. To me, it's not summer until sunlight comes on. Summer has not started until I watch Sandlot, and I definitely have to watch Sandlot during 4th of July.
Yeah, Sandlot is.
It's just tradition.
It's Sandlot is solid, but what was the fucking question?
Your friends in Riverside.
Because I. Are you thinking about a particular person, or are you saying?
No, I said friends.
Okay. What about them?
Like, what are they still in Riverside? Are you guys still in contact with each other?
So there's Frankie Oy moved.
Do they do comedy? Like, what is their deal?
I don't know. So that's like Frankie. So one of my friends, Frankie Oy, he moved to New York, and we are on our own. I really relate to his experience. Every time I check in on him or see his TikTok videos, see his posts, I'm like, God damn, good for you, Frankie. Like, he's grinding in New York City.
Right.
Which is, again, surreal. I think surreal is the
name of this joint, the surreal.
It's surreal is the overall theme of everything. But like, yeah, I keep in contact with Frankie Oy. I keep in contact with Ep.91. I know I've talked to you about him a little bit. And he does comedy sporadically.
Oh.
That's my Jim in the office moment.
Ep.91, that was him saying you need to get on your shit.
No, I know. No, that's not.
I know what that look means, nigga.
That you know what the look means, but I'm not saying that. That's something that's different about me.
Alec, he said you ain't shit.
Yeah, Alec, you ain't shit. You know that though.
I like instigating. Sorry.
I know. You're an instigator.
Yeah.
That's something that's different about me.
What?
I used to tell Alec and other people. I used to tell fucking everybody like what to do.
You don't do that anymore? I'm asking for the podcast because the people want to know.
Yeah, all the people.
Yeah.
No, I think that inclination is still there, but I have a lot more control over it now. And it come in retrospect. It's part of it's the way I was raised, and it's. I understand now when I'm doing that, it's me trying to express that I give a shit, like I'm interested in this person, and that's how I was raised to articulate that. But it's also super obnoxious and unnecessary. So I used to tell Alec all the time. Man, you gotta fucking grind. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. And
I think the word grind and hustle need to be eradicated.
Why?
Because I feel like there's this pressure that those words put on people that they don't even understand. So now they're like, oh, I always got to be moving, always got to be doing this, always got to be doing something. And it's like, not every move is a grind. Not everything is a hustle. Sometimes just because I got to go pass out flyers, then I got to go stand on the street, and then I got to go do this. It's like sometimes you're working against yourself.
Yeah.
And people don't realize it because hustle culture game. I got to, it's like, calm down.
Yeah, and I feel a lot calmer. We good?
Yeah, I think the
neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're
but yeah, I used to. I'll talk specifically with Alec because I would do this a lot with him. I'd fucking try to tell him what to do. He's grown. I don't give. He has a little boyfriend. He's out the closet.
How long have y'all been friends?
Oh fuck.
How many years?
Since 2015, 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good amount of friends.
Yeah. It's a feeling thinking about it, but yeah, I would tell him what to do. Now I don't give a fuck what he does. I love Alec. I want him to do comedy, and he's funny, and he's gonna like all that stuff.
But you feel like it's truly none of your business.
It's none of my business.
Right.
If he wants my opinion, I'll give it to him. He probably already knows what my opinions are.
Hell yeah. That's fair.
But I'm busy.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what was nice about quarantine for that first time was I was focusing on me. Like I just focused so much on
no distractions.
Yeah, there were no distractions. And now I'm back in real life, and there are distractions, and I have.
Isn't that crazy?
What?
Like, because I feel the same way with quarantine, where I was kind of like the best, or getting towards the best version of me, and it was wonderful. And you're thinking, oh, okay, once we get back open, I can keep these habits up because I've had a year to fucking build habits. And it's like the moment we had to go back outside and start doing stuff, all of a sudden I stopped doing things. And then 6 months later, I'm like, hey, shit, I ain't done yoga in 6 months.
I think it's the system that's set up that, like, it's a system set up to, we'll use this word again, grind you into dust. Like, it's a system set up to where you don't have time to rest and think for a second.
Yeah.
But regardless, now I've just I do a lot better at focusing on me.
Yeah.
And I support my friends. I care about them. I like to check in. I hope they're good.
Right.
But it's none of my fucking. You're an adult.
You gotta take care of yourself.
You gotta take care of yourself. And yeah.
Did you have any beef or adversaries in Riverside?
I know people did not like me.
Fuck them. What's their names? Name them.
Fucking everybody. And no, that's exaggerating.
Name them. Name them. No, you can if you want.
I don't even think I could now. I know that.
That's good though.
What?
You don't even remember their names.
Well, I don't remember their names. I don't think I knew. All I heard from people were like, "Yeah, man, people don't like you." Like other people would tell me. Other people would let me know. Yeah, people were in LA were talking a lot of shit. People in OC were talking a lot of shit. Like that's what I would hear. So I don't know specifically. I wouldn't even know their names. And I don't give a shit. But at the time, I understand to some degree why someone would not like me. Because I was fucking irritating. I'm irritating. I don't think I was an asshole. I think I came off like an asshole. I think that I didn't know how to articulate my feelings in a way, or my thoughts in a way that wasn't super overbearing and obnoxious and I'm like know-it-all-y, even though I don't know shit.
Right.
So if and I know it's not an if, people not liking me in Riverside or LA or wherever, people not liking me back then, I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Fuck, people not liking me now is fine. Like, I'm obnoxious. Like, that's part of my personality. Fair. Yeah. But
I'm just joking.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't even know if I could say enemies. People just didn't fucking like me.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
So you do your TikToks.
Oh yeah.
Your tickety talks.
I sure do. At TikTok
And you'll put your shit on YouTube or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's usually always one person
go.
that comments.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say his name, but it's Johnny Gold. And
yeah.
I remember when we first started, you had pointed out something that he wrote in a comment. I was like, let me go look. And now I've noticed that this man comments on your stuff with these most backhanded fucking compliments on earth.
Yeah.
It's just backhanded and unnecessary. It's like not helpful. You know what I mean? It's like if we're in a crowd of people and we got to all figure out how to get to the Capitol, and he would just be like, well, you can go to the Capitol if you want, but we really need to get us Doritos. And it's like, why the fuck did you bring that up? It's just like his comments are always like, why?
Yeah.
And I know
You've responded
back because I am very protective of my friends.
Yeah.
Not that I ever thought that he was gonna do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But every time you do say something, if he comments and I say something back, he backtracks immediately. I ain't never seen nobody run faster than a chihuahua. Right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Like, do you
it
hate?
Sounds like we should ask how you feel about that.
Do you hate that I do that?
Do I hate that you do that? No, not at all. No.
Do you feel like I'm like
overstepping your bounds?
Doing the most or
no.
Out of pocket?
No, because big part of moving out here was a search for community. Not to say I didn't have community in Riverside. I very much did have community. But it didn't feel healthy. Something felt off. Something felt wrong. And And part of it was a racial dynamic. Like I just needed black people around me.
Yeah.
I needed and not just Alec or just Jonathan.
Yeah. Did you just name all the black
I
people
think
in Riverside?
hold on. Give me a second.
You just named all the niggas in Riverside.
No, there's
Aaron, Alec, Jonathan,
and KJ.
and KJ. End of nigga list.
Give me a second. Get the fuck out of here.
You want to call Johnny and ask him since he seems to know?
His mom was in the Black Panthers. He really likes to bring that up.
What? Okay, go ahead. I'm not gonna say nothing.
You are gonna say something.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Yeah, but the fact that my reaction is even having to think about it like that on that level, like if you ask me to list off all the black comics I know now, or the black people I'm around now, like just a lot.
Yeah. But race has always been like a factor for shit for you, coming from Riverside.
Nah, never once. I don't even think about race. I don't even see color.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm colorblind.
Mm-hmm. Yes, race has always been a factor. Always. To this goddamn day, it's a fucking factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it easier now?
Way easier. Way easier. The community. That's okay. Community. Mm-hmm. Like growing up, I didn't have that type of community. Mm-hmm. I didn't have. If I'm dealing with white people, doing white people stuff.
Right.
There was just not enough people around to be like, whoa.
Right.
Hey, hold on. Time out. What the fuck is this?
Right.
So you reacting that way, or the bar lady at the movie theater.
Yeah.
I just never had people have my back like that. Like.
What he's talking about is he was at an open mic that's at a movie theater, and I was at home, and he was sitting around waiting, and this white woman, this granola-ass white woman, was there probably drinking and drunk, and Aaron's black and the bartender was black, and they were having a black-ass conversation, and she inserted her whiteness into this black-ass conversation, and they didn't like tell her to shut up or anything, but they were talking. At one point, Aaron says nigga to the nigga, and because we can do that, and the white girl then goes, permission, and just starts saying nigga and calling Aaron nigga, and he called me and was telling me what's going on, and I was like, wait, what? What's happening? And just because of everything I do know about you, I knew you were mad, but it's a woman, and I know you're not gonna do nothing because she was a woman.
She kept. Ooh.
But she kept going, yeah.
Before, okay, so to ask.
And eventually I was like, all right, do not hit this bitch.
Because I was close.
I'll be there in a second. Because I was cooking dinner. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was just about to start cooking dinner, and you told me all this shit. And I remember I'm in the apartment, and Felicia and Yasmin were like, wait, what's going on? And I was like, man, I think I gotta go fight a white woman. Turn the oven off. I'll be back.
For some context, before she did that, she kept bringing up that she was some 16th Native American. And
don't even get me started on that bullshit. White people, you are not Native American.
And she was also bringing up that she was a woman and her plight as a woman. Before like popping off for real, like she kept bringing that up. It was like she was teeing herself.
She was doing the super feminist.
Yeah, the super feminist, the white feminist thing.
Yeah.
And so she made it clear that she was untouchable in the sense that she can say whatever she wants, and I can't physically put my hands on her.
But I can.
I know. And so you come, and then what happens?
By the time I got there, you were just kind of sitting there. There was a couple older black dudes on the corner.
Oh, they were talking
at the bar.
She was talking to them about how much she loved Harriet Tubman.
She was Jesus Christ. But I think they had missed all the nigger shit, so they weren't aware. So when I got there, I'm not. Bro, I could see how mad you are. Like it was wild. I could just see how mad you are, and you said her.
Was that the first time you saw me angry?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. And you pointed her out, and so I just sat down, and I was like, all right, so what's going on? And she was like, oh, I don't, what are you, what? I don't, oh my God, what? And I was like, all right, stop fucking around. He said you keep saying nigga, what's up with that? And she was like, "Oh my god, I would never say, I would never say that." And I was like, "Well, why would he just make up that you called him nigga?" And she kept doing this innocent act, and Aaron just kept
I
getting
snapped.
more. You snapped. At a certain point, you fucking snapped, and I had to like pull you back and be like, "All right, come on, come on, come on, come on." But she was doing this innocent act, and she never said nigga again because I think she knew if she was talking the shit that she was talking to you about, oh well, I'm a woman and I know you can't do nothing. She knew I could. She can't pull that shit with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no intention of hitting her, but I had every intention of scaring the fuck out of her.
Sure.
And I did. I did.
The moment that made me snap was when she said she said she has never said the word.
Mm-hmm.
And this was, how long had I been in Chicago by that point?
I don't know.
It wasn't even a year. It
8 months.
It was a few months. It was a few months, and it was like it pissed me off because it was like it's so manipulative.
Yeah.
It's so, the gaslighting is great.
Oh, I know what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because she said that, but she kept denying doing anything or ever saying anything. And I remember I flat out asked her, I said, "Are you drunk or are you on something?" And she got mad at me because she was like, "How dare you're accusing me of being drunk?" And she got mad at me, and I was like, "Bitch, calm down." And that's because I just kind of,
You said you did.
I said,
you did,
"Bitch," I said, "Bitch, calm down." And then she was like, "Did you ever call me a bitch? Oh my god, you can't call me a fucking bitch." And she just kept going, and I was like, all right, this bitch is crazy. And even the old dudes in the old black dudes, they were like, yeah, she crazy. And then eventually the staff came and they kicked her out, and she was pissed that she was getting kicked out. And then she kept hovering around the outside of the theater, screaming about, oh, she was very also mad. She thought I was supposed to be taking up for her because she is a woman and I'm a woman and I'm upholding the patriarchy by supporting you, and that's it. It was a whole bunch of bullshit. But yeah, that was the first time I ever seen you mad ever. It's the last time I ever seen you mad. I've never seen you mad like that again.
I was pretty mad.
Yeah, rightfully so.
But and then it goes back to the backhanded compliment stuff.
Yeah,
it's, or the fucking Target yesterday.
yeah.
Where we're just
Olga.
we're buying some. Is the time down? Is it time down?
No.
Okay. Where we're buying shit and we're like being watched, like clearly being watched, and I didn't notice it. You because my back was turned.
Yeah.
But you noticed it. It's this relentless manipulation.
Yeah.
And if you don't have community, if you don't have people around you to be like, to ground you, to say like, no, this is real. This is really happening.
Mm-hmm.
This is really not okay. You lose your fucking mind.
Because it's a constant microregression of gaslighting, and you can't find a confirmation from someone else. So then you start to think, well, maybe I really am crazy. Maybe I am being an asshole. Maybe it's me because all these people are saying otherwise. Yeah. And it's not until you become an adult and you become older that you realize, hold on. I think this is how it is for us black people who grew up in a suburb. You don't realize the bullshit until you leave or you get older and you look back at it and you go, wait, what the fuck just happened? And I feel like that's what happened with you.
Yeah.
Or you don't realize it and you become Candace Owens and it's fine.
One of the two. It was so blatant. It was so blatant, and she was so confident. For half a second, I was like, did I just make all this? Like, it happened 10 minutes ago. She's yelling nigger at me over and over again. 10 minutes later, it's, I've never said the word in my life.
Yeah.
It's so in her heart. I think she believed.
No, she 100% believed that she didn't say, a single thing. When I got there and I asked her what happened, she was just like, I've just been sitting here. Why are you talking to me? And it was like, that's why I was like, and then she was like eating bird seeds out of a plastic bag or some bullshit. But yeah, that's why I eventually I had to ask her, like, what's wrong with you? But
So, Riverside, to get back to the why I've hated Riverside for so much, because Riverside represents that to me.
yeah,
And Riverside as a place just represents trauma, all of it.
right.
And not just with race, but with family too. But that's gotten a lot better, as you've seen.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, that has
I'm
gotten
very proud of you and your sisters.
Yeah. It's like I think that was the other. I think I talked to you about this, but I have a better understanding of what's my fault and what's not.
Which is good.
Yeah. And on the family end of things, on the friend ends of things, it's all gotten a lot better. Like I'm communicating more with my sisters. Call my grandma at least every 2 days. My mom's not yelling at me because what's she gonna yell at me about? I don't.
Yeah.
I pay my bills. I'm an adult. I'm thousands and thousands of miles away. Like, so I'm good there. My dad's doing his best. I have friends from back home I still stay in contact with. I have Matt, I have Bryce, I have Alec, I have Jonathan who's trying to talk. What's up?
You have Johnny.
I have Johnny Gold, with his comments.
Also, too, just to be very clear, because when this comes out, I already know what's about to happen. Aaron's thoughts and opinions on Riverside are Aaron's. Don't jump in. I'm telling you right now. Please don't jump in these comments and be like, and this is for anybody, honestly. Riverside's not like that. Riverside, you have no right to tell someone else how their experience and feelings were. Period. If you have that feeling that you need to jump in a comment and say he's wrong, that's never happened in Riverside, shut your white ass up because you never lived Aaron's black ass life. That I cannot stand it when people do that shit. Don't tell him how he feels about his experiences. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. And if you need to do it, go to RachelHallsFunny.com. Send me a comment. We can have a whole goddamn conversation. But don't do that. Because what that does is and I'm not even talking just in general, when you sit there and you tell someone your experience is not as bad as it was, your experience isn't real, your trauma is a little too much, you're invalidating them, period, as a person. If someone came to you and you were like, I love my mama, and you were like, man, your mama give a fuck about you, that's like you're devaluing not only your mama but you. And you're paid, and you don't realize what you're doing is you're saying he's a liar. And you don't know what happened to him. You have I don't know. The only person that 100% knows that story is Aaron Chase. And if Aaron Chase is his feelings, those are his feelings. You do not get to say, nah, he wrong. Period. That's it.
I look forward to the comments.
And in the PSA. And the PSA. But now okay, fuck Riverside, we're done. But now you're in Chicago.
Yeah.
How moving to Chicago that first year.
Yeah.
What was that?
That was survival mode and slowly ripping off the trauma band-aids. It was that the first year was me going back to that word grinding. You remember, where if I was not getting on stage every night, I was failing as far as I'm concerned. I was wasting precious seconds. If I was at a show and I was not on that show, why the fuck am I at that show? Rather than hanging out and getting to know people, and like being a human. I live in this great city with all of these attractions and things and food and places. But no, I'm going to open mics. That's all I'm doing. I'm going to work, open mics, sleep every day.
Repeat
over and over again. And then that's not even including going to the South Side for the first time and because that's a whole separate thing. So basically,
Chicago's a very segregated city.
Super segregated. That first year was survival mode, and I didn't realize I was still in survival mode. Like, or at least I didn't realize how bad it really was.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was summer. It was summer that it all came crashing down. This like Jenga building that I had been building of just working and grinding, keep going, keep going, and just exhausting myself. It hit its boiling point in summer when I was losing my job. I wasn't gonna have work. I was already going in debt throughout the year because substituting is not enough money. And I was moving out of my apartment with my then ex-girlfriend. We had lived together. I'm so glad we got a 2-bedroom apartment. But we had lived together throughout that year. We broke up like a month and a half into moving here. And the most amicable breakup you could imagine. Like as amicable as you could be. And so I'm moving out of the apartment. I'm moving into my own apartment. You know how I am with adult shit and how stressful that is for me. And so I had to like I physically couldn't go to open mics. And so I remember it was like 2 months, a month maybe 2 months of just chilling. I got to see Saba.
For your birthday.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah, you cried.
Yeah. It felt like that was the moment I was like, oh, I earned living in Chicago because I had lived through the winter, which by the way,
how was your first Chicago winter?
good, fine. It's fine.
Jesus Christ.
It's fine. It's inconvenient sometimes. It sucks sometimes, but that's weather. Like when I tell you, other than the whole "you're gonna get shot," which is a whole other.
Stop telling people that.
It's Chicago's. No, actually, no. Keep telling people. Just don't come to Chicago. Fuck you then. Like if you're really that goddamn scared of getting shot, don't come to Chicago.
Yeah,
I guess. But the weather thing. That was the other gaslighting thing. That was not gaslight. That's not the right word. Other people projecting their
fears
and what they like and what they don't like onto me. I like the cold. You know this.
Yeah.
I love it when it's cold. Everyone else, why would you? It would make no sense. And it's like I've never lived out here, so when people are bombarding me with this whole winter shit, it's like I have no context. It was fine. It's beautiful. Winter's beautiful. Really lonely. That I think the harder part about that first winter was that we didn't really know each other that well.
I mean, we knew each other pretty well, Aaron.
But it's not like now.
Were
we having Negro movie nights and shit?
No, we weren't having Negro movie nights, but we hung out a lot.
Sure, but oh my God, you contradict me too much.
Oh my Lord.
Our relationship now is not the same as then.
No. Okay. Correct.
We have a better understanding and communication now.
Yes, correct.
Okay. It was lonely. It was like my first year away from everything, my first real winter and the darkness.
Was it loneliness or do you think it was a little bit of homesickness?
Lonely.
Okay.
It was lonely because now I could say, no, I don't feel home. No. Actually, no. Nothing about me ever wants to move back. Like live. I
don't ever want to move back to Dallas, but you could be homesick for a place. That doesn't necessarily mean, oh, I miss living with you miss living with your mom or whatever. It can be, homesick can be, oh, I miss that diner on the corner or these little stupid things I used to do with a friend or whatever, because all those memories happen in that place.
Sure, maybe a little bit, but mostly like physically lonely. I just had never been so.
Oh.
I'd never been so far away.
Why don't you tell me you need a hug?
Because I don't do that.
Okay, but I would have done it anyway.
Yeah, that's
the problem.
Yeah. It was lonely. It was lonely, but the winter, it's not that bad. Like, my God. Oh, there's some snow. You're fine.
So
God damn.
what was so when you moved here? What was your like experience with comedy? Like how was it being from the your hometown comedy scene and then stepping into the Chicago comedy scene?
I would ping pong back and forth um, between overwhelmed at how many comics there were
Mm.
and judgmental of their comedy, of everyone's comedy.
How judgmental you were of their comedy, or
Yeah.
they were?
I was judgmental of I don't know what the fuck people thought of me,
That's fair.
but I was judgmental of everyone else's comedy and people.
Do you remember the first mic you ever went to? The first open mic
North
in
by.
Chicago?
North by.
What happened there?
I we had drove 48 hours oh my God, I can't believe I did this. We drove 48 hours straight, just back and forth, sleeping, making rest stops for the dog to take a shit and for the cat to stretch a little bit, and we just went, and we were drained. We were Hannah and I'm very proud of us for getting through that. Like we started kind of getting sick of each other at the tail end of it, which is pretty
The
good.
tail end of the drive?
Of the drive, yeah. Which is pretty good. 2 days straight in a cramped car going to the complete unknown. All things considered, really good. We got here in the middle of the day, and then we got to the door, and we didn't know how to get in, like the lock, the little.
You said you beat and we got to the door. What door?
The door at the apartment in Pilsen.
Okay, you got to your apartment.
I got to my apartment, and we couldn't get in. So, and it's fucking Chicago heat. I came from desert Riverside heat, which is dry and brittle, and now I'm in fucking Chicago heat, tired, so tired with this cat and this dog and all this shit in the car, and we don't know where anything. It's emotional, it's confusing, and we're trying to get a hold of the landlord, and he's not fucking answering. So we're just sitting outside of our apartment, and we cannot get in. And I think we waited for maybe an hour and a half, and finally he showed up and he let us in, and we go up this like
Yep.
the stairs.
Yep, I remember your apartment.
Oh my God. When I did not realize how tight everything was in the city. You know what I mean?
I will say this. I don't know if it's how tight everything was in the city or if that's your apartment. Because you've been in my apartments and it's not tight.
No, going up those stairs though. The stairs.
Okay.
Like the stairs and how things are built, it's just a different thing than California and I
Right.
assume Texas.
Right.
Like there's a more it's economical in space. And so you go up these very steep stairs, very steep. You literally climb up these fucking stairs.
Right.
And we go into the apartment, and immediately we both feel disappointed. It was way smaller than we had pictured. Way smaller than we had pictured. I've spent months because we had pictures of the apartment, but they were in no particular order. They were set up weird. I spent months diagramming, like, what exactly is this gonna look like? And when we got in there, it was really disappointing. And we did not have beds. We just
remember.
we just had hardwood floors, and we then it clicks like, oh, I gotta unpack the car. I have to unpack this fucking car in 90-degree humidity. It was terrible. And so we drag all this stuff up. We take a nap on the floor for like a little bit. And then I went to a mic immediately, like at that night. And I didn't understand how far things were.
Right.
I didn't know exactly how to use the CTA.
Yeah.
And I fucking left my girlfriend, my dog, and this cat in this apartment. It was like, it was in retrospect, it was like, what the fuck are you doing? You're here.
Yeah.
Take a second. I did the moment I got here, go.
Right.
And it did not stop.
And you went to the North
I
Bar.
went to North Bar. So,
R.I.P. North Bar, because it doesn't exist anymore.
yeah. So I get on the pink line.
The worst fucking train.
No, red line's the worst train.
No, pink line's awful because you never know if it's going to show up.
Oh, that's fair.
At least this red line is consistent.
It's consistent. So I get on the pink line, and it would have been about 8 o'clock, and I didn't understand how far things were and how signups worked. So I put on. I remember this. I put on New York State of Mind.
Okay.
Because I was like, that's just what you have to listen to if you're on a train.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got to North Bar, and I remember being a judgmental asshole. I remember being like, man, these comics are shit, man.
Yeah.
And then I go up at like 2 a.m. last.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then I had to get home. I didn't realize the CTA stops after like at least 1 usually.
Mm-hmm.
So then I think I walked home. And I did not stop from that. I just kept going until that summer hit, until I finally like gassed out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the first. It was an experience.
How do you feel about like this comedy now, being in Chicago? Like, how do you where do you feel like you are? Have you?
I am.
Could the Aaron of Riverside open for the Aaron of Chicago?
Fuck. Open for me or follow me?
Follow. There we go. Just say no. Like,
Would Aaron from Riverside try to follow Aaron from Chicago? Yeah. Would it be very good? No. Especially, and I'm picturing South Side versus North Side. I think that's what's going on. I think Aaron from Riverside could not follow, but be fine in the North Side.
mm-hmm.
But Aaron from Riverside couldn't touch Chicago Aaron in the South Side, without question. Like, my level of comfort and in myself is far more in depth, and I'm just like a way better comic now. What is this face you make?
Nothing.
Do you disagree?
No, I think you're terrible.
Yep. That's why you have me open.
Yep. So people can really be excited about how great I am.
I'm a much better comedian now.
That's good. You should be.
Yeah, I would hope so.
You should be.
If I wasn't a better comic right now, this would be a big waste. But I think a big part of that was because I understand myself more. I understand my pet peeves. I understand when I need to take a break a little more. I understand things that I like. I understand where I need to step out of my comfort zone more. I understand myself.
Which is good. So do you think you've gotten like a community and friends and shit now that you're in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. My jawbreaker analogy.
No, what is your jawbreaker analogy?
Oh, my jawbreaker analogy, let me tell you. The idea that the outer layer of the jawbreaker are acquaintances. People that I see. Maybe I don't remember your name. Maybe I do. I see.
Right.
Then, how did I word it? And then another layer in is like buddies. When I go to open mics, there's certain people I'll meet
that you'll hang out with.
Yeah, if I'm at an open mic or I'm at a show, I've seen them around and like we're familiar and we're cool, we could talk.
Right.
Then from there is friends, and those are the people that I could reach out to and hang out with.
Right.
And then there's family, and I don't think family is blood. I think family is what you make it.
Fair.
And then like those are people that like I trust. Those are like Kevin Hart's plastic cup.
Plastic Cup Boys. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the people that are like my rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's me in the center, and
Because the world revolves around Aaron.
yeah, the universe
Mm-hmm.
revolves around Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
I am the universe, and the universe is me.
Aaron Universe.
Yes, such a good show. And now, like back then, I there was no. It was like I'm gonna be just as emotional with family as I am gonna be with an acquaintance.
Yeah,
It's like,
shouldn't do that.
Don't do like. What do you?
It's dangerous.
That's not necessary, and it's overwhelming, and it freaks people out.
It's dangerous.
What do you mean dangerous?
It's dangerous to be.
Too open with the wrong person.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree there too. But for me, it was probably more overwhelming to people than dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And now, when now I know how to dial it in. I know how to like read the room of what dynamic should be happen. Use Anthony Jeselnik. Like that's an acquaintance. I do not know this man, like at all. And Aaron of first moving here, Aaron you first met, you shouldn't even bring me in the room with that man. Honestly, like
You would tackled him.
yeah, I would have give me your comedy energy, and I would have like sucked it out of his belly button. That's where Anthony Jeselnik hides all of his comedy powers. For those you don't know,
Okay.
he showed me.
He's like a Care Bear.
It like glows.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he wears dark clothes.
Let's stop talking about Anthony.
But when I first moved here, if you put me around that man or other comics, I remember I had a moment in the Laugh Factory when I was first sitting there. Early on, can't remember who the comics were, but I'm just meeting new people. They don't fucking know me. I was like, yeah, I just need to grind. I just gotta be the best. I gotta grind. You gotta do this, and I probably look like a fucking crackhead to these people. And now, you put me around an acquaintance or a newer person, I understand how to be like, all right, what do you do? Oh, I do cool. I'm learning how to draw. I'm taking jujitsu. That's quite cool. Oh, what do you do? It's calm. Feel calm. Not to say I don't have my moments. Of being crazy because I'm a crazy person, but it's just I just feel more measured and just calm. Like my baseline of happiness is so much more consistent.
This is great.
Yeah, I would say so.
Who's your core? What? I'll ask about me specifically in a second, but who's in your core? Who are these people that are keeping you grounded and helping you calm?
Ty Riggs and Lair Bear.
Taiwan.
Ty Riggs and Lara. Ty Riggs and Lara, I enjoy them a lot. Bryce and Matt from back home. Alec Damani.
Those are the ones you do the film favorites
with them. Alec Damani, we've just stayed consistently in touch. You don't know Jessica, but Jessica, my brother. I wanna say that's it, and that's good. Like I think I had this headspace that like you need to have a large group of friends. Like no, realistically, like you only have so much emotional capacity for people. And actually, Ty Laro is a friend. I don't know him well, and I
mean y'all just met not too long ago.
Yeah, we are just now being around each other more. So I'm gonna say Ty, but Laro is he could if he earns his spot,
he could get it.
He could get if he puts in the work.
He's gonna hate
He's
this
gonna
clip.
hate this.
He's gonna hate that I just said that he could get it.
Yeah, he's gonna hate it. But you know that makes me happy.
I know.
Yeah. We want to talk about you.
What
now?
about me? Am I in the group?
Nah.
Okay.
I think you're more like you're a polite acquaintance.
That's fair.
I think it's cool to be around you.
Yeah. That's fair. So, okay, because I'm the one mistalking and no one knows who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
So, let's just go ahead and end it this way. I'm Rachel Hall. How did you meet me, Aaron?
I was at the Laugh Factory, and I was told, I think Christian Royce told me, like, you got to hang out at the Laugh Factory. A few people said that. I think even Matt Bright said, like, you have to hang out. People need to see you.
Mm-hmm.
And
people don't know you're there if you're not there.
Right. And I was sitting there, but I knew myself enough to know I'm not who I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew I was all fucked up and off and I didn't know how to do this social stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I would come off like a lot. So when I first moved here, I was real quiet around people. And I was sitting there. I think I sat there for 3 hours.
So you got to at the time I had a show and our show was at 11:30. So that means you got there for the 7:30. It was just there.
Yeah, you know me.
Uh-huh.
I sat there and I literally just sat there and I just watched people. Didn't say anything to anybody.
Listened, watched the show, sat down.
I didn't watch the show because I don't like to watch comedy. It would have frustrated me. I just sat there and I just watched people. And people came in and out. No one said anything to me for 3 hours.
Nobody said anything to you?
Nobody said anything to me.
I feel like when I came in, you were kind of talking. No. All right. Oh, all right.
Not to my recollection of. I'm sure maybe, oh, hey, hi. Oh, I'm Aaron. Maybe.
Like elevator conversation.
Not even a conversation. Just an acknowledgement that I'm sitting here like a little scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody was talking to me.
I guess that's fair. I kind of remember now.
Yeah, but why would they? They don't fucking know who I am. And so I'm sitting there for like 3 hours, and I remember watching you and I think
Matt,
it was Skylar too.
Ashley, Skylar, yeah.
I remember you guys going around. You guys would get together, you would talk, and then that would dissipate, and there was just this flow going on. And then I remember you turned over. I think you were near where they put the snacks normally.
Yeah.
And you looked over and you're like, who is this guy? Or something like that. What'd you say?
I remember walking into Laugh Factory because I remember I had on this like camo dress thing, and I walked in and I remember seeing you and I was like, well, who the fuck is that? But whatever, there, especially that week, there had been a lot of comics visiting, so I don't know, whatever. And so I was just talking to them, and I remember asking Matt, who is that? Is he a visiting comic? And Matt was like, I don't know. And so I just was like, who are you?
Then what happened? What did I don't remember, because I do know we played Uno and I won.
Yeah, we did. I don't even know why we ended up playing Uno.
I don't know.
Who the fuck had Uno cards?
I don't know. I don't remember. I just remember winning. And I remember I won in a weird, I was like, I guess I win. Like I just I didn't even.
Yeah.
Yeah. But please.
No, I remember being like, okay, well, who are you? And then you stood up and we were just straight talking for about a while. And then you kind of came over to where we were and you introduced yourself. And everyone was like, hey, man. So anyway, and this kept going and you just kind of hung around, and then somebody had, who the fuck had, I think Ashley had Uno cards. And she was like, we're going to play Uno, but we need some more people. And you were like, and Matt was like, you going to play? And you were like, yeah, yeah. And you flipped your dreads back, or your locks back. And you were like, yeah, I'll play Uno. It's been a while, whatever. And then we started playing Uno, and I know the show started because I was like hosting, I think. But we played Uno for a while, and you won. And I don't exactly remember what we were. If I went into Instagram and scrolled back for the next 7.5 hours to get to the very first message I sent you.
You sent me the message?
Yeah, because we were talking about something, and I remember being like, "Oh, I watched this whole thing on Netflix."
It's cartoons, black cartoons.
I don't remember what it was about,
Huh.
but I just remember being like, "Oh, you should watch this. I'm gonna send it to you." And you were like, what's your Instagram or whatever? I'm gonna send you this link so you can watch this thing. and I sent you the link to watch the thing, and I think you watched the thing that night and messaged me the next day about it, and then we consistently talked every single day for 2 years,
Yeah, basically that sums it up.
except for 2 weeks when I didn't talk to you at all.
Yeah, that sums it up. That's you summed up 2 years.
Because I mean, we talk every single day,
Something like that, yeah. I was,
basically all day.
yeah.
It's very rare that there are hours where we don't speak, and those hours that we don't speak is because we're asleep.
Yeah. 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 Be an interviewer. Make me get more out of me because I don't even know. Yeah, that's basically what happened. And I remember early on, I think we still frustrate each other now, but early on, I think I was probably very frustrating to you, especially with the open mic stuff.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember when I was like doing the open mic stuff and the way I was talking to you about you doing the open mic stuff?
Yeah.
When I was saying like back home I would tell people what to do.
Yeah.
That was a echo from that.
Yeah.
And it's
You're a control freak.
Thanks.
I mean, so am I. I don't mean it in the worst way. Like, you are a control freak. You're a little bossy.
Yeah. But that, I mean, that's a really good example of what I would do back then. But way worse, way more obnoxious, way more aggressive. And because I was running my own little comedy community for the most part, I had say. Like, I had clout. So people had to fucking, like, this is my thing.
People had to listen.
People had to listen to me. So I was probably fucking insufferable. I can only imagine. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
brunch with Kelly, by the way.
We all talked about it. I don't know if it's happening.
Okay.
Like, it was like a drunk idea. You know what
That's
I mean?
fair. Go ahead.
So,
yeah.
but yeah, that's you yeah. And I do also remember you used to get really.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna say frustrated.
Oh, okay.
You used to get really frustrated and annoyed because you would message me, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" And I'd be like, "I have a show."
Oh, that's right.
Or
right.
I have this, I have that, and you would be so frustrated.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have a show. Like, you were.
Never had
There were times where I really didn't want to tell you I had a show because I knew you were going to act.
Yeah.
And all up in your feelings or whatever. And for you, I think what really bothered you was when you came to the Laugh Factory and you saw my face on the marquee, on the little digital marquee.
Do you think it wait, go ahead. I'll tell you what I thought, but go ahead. What do you think?
I think that when you saw that, it also gave you a perception that, like, it's not true, where you thought, like, oh, all I do is headline everywhere I go and this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
But it made you feel like, oh, you have a show 7 nights a week or something like that. But I do think, as much as you might have been, like, quote unquote proud to see it as a friend, I do feel like you at the time, it was like a fuck kind of thing.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
No. There was that. It was okay. It was one of the first. The thing that really frustrated me was your story.
Oh.
Was the yeah? So I showed up to the open mic once, and then they were like, "Yeah, come on a show," and then they were like, "Yeah, host a show, produce a show here." It was like, what the fuck, like. It was like, and I understand that in retrospect and time and experience, I understand that that's sometimes it's just luck. That's just the game.
Right.
It just is. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own lane.
Right.
But at the time in my head, I'm like, how the fuck does that happen? That's crazy. That's to this day, that's still fucking crazy. And then your face being on the marquee, to me, still is not as big of a deal now that I have expanded my experiences in comedy in this career. But it is still a big like that's still cool. That's still something that I think what frustrated me was that you correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't seem to appreciate or care all that. You kept downplaying it to the point where I was like, do you not fucking care that you're doing the thing? It's up there. Are you out your mind? Like, it's there. That's crazy. And for you to be, no, it's not that big of a deal. It's like, fucking yes, it is. It is. It's cool. It was really, the nonchalant feeling it felt like, and this is probably projection, but it felt like you were not appreciating this opportunity to me.
Right, definitely projection.
Yeah.
I think the difference is I had been in this Chicago comedy
For
longer than you, so I kind of understood how the Laugh Factory works. I understood why they did the things on the marquee because I was there with Ashley when she made them, right? Like I understood, so in my brain I was like, well, I know the reason why, so it's not. Yeah, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, that's very fucking cool, but I knew it didn't mean
yes, and I understand
something, and I know you didn't.
Yes.
At the time.
I understand that now. I understand it doesn't mean it does mean something, but it doesn't
right.
It does not mean nearly as much.
It didn't have as much weight on it as you once
previously
thought it did.
Yeah. Yeah. That and I think that's what's chilled me out a lot more around people is like understanding it really isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like when I do show and I get booked more now.
Yeah.
Still not enough for me, but when is it ever enough? But when I get booked on shows or whatever, and there's always a few people. You experienced one last night that like flip the fuck out. That think you're a goddamn superstar.
Yeah.
There's always those people, and in my head, I'm like, and I am not. I'm gonna go get candy from 7-Eleven and like smoke weed and like sit in this hotel. Like, it's not that glamorous. Really, it's not. But they're not in it. They don't get it.
Yeah.
And it just put it into perspective.
So, okay, because I'm getting hungry. So let's just
I am hungry. Yeah.
What are your goals now? Now that you've been in Chicago for 2 years, you're out here getting booked, you're traveling, you're doing shit. Now what? What do we hope for next?
Are we doing the extravagant, not realistic stuff or the realistic?
It's not that it's extravagant and not realistic. I don't want you to get used to that. I'm saying we put these rational thoughts on us. Like I can sit here and be like, I don't want to be the next Oprah, but I can say I want to be the next Oprah, but then my rational brain would be like, Oprah's a lot. Just maybe be a news anchor. I'm settling my own dreams. You know what I mean? So it's not that, because that's not a extravagant and unrealistic goal to have. It really isn't. It's just, you downplay and you settle in your brain because you don't believe in yourself maybe the way you think you do.
I'll rephrase this.
So what is the next, like what are those next goals, dreams, or whatever that you have for Aaron?
In comedy, just staying consistent I actually think I'm on the right track. My gut's telling me like I'm doing the right moves. I'm making the decision to not host. What day is it?
Today's Saturday.
Yeah, to not host tonight back in Chicago, and to be like, you know what? Fuck the stage time. Let me hang out. That feels like the right move right now. Like making that decision, I think was very out of character for me, as you were very surprised by, and smart. I think in comedy, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna keep reaching out to clubs more. I'm just gonna keep reaching out.
Okay, so that's how we get to the thing. Do you not have a goal of like,
I
want to be a headliner by the end of the year? I want to like that's.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. No, I don't want to. I'm not going to be. I know that's not going to happen. But
all right, y'all, this is in the podcast.
Get the fuck. All right, whatever.
Aaron's out here not believing in himself. Got the nerve to have a Malcolm X T-shirt on and just not even believing in his own blackness. Go ahead.
With your camo pants.
I love these pants.
I know you're always wearing camo pants. Did you notice that? You wear those pants so much.
You wear those same jeans on so
No,
much.
I got new. These are fresh from Target.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday's are fresh ass jeans. You got those old ass, crusty ass
Camos, I love these pants.
Yeah, I know.
They're comfortable as shit.
What's the goal? Get booked at comedy clubs. Keep getting booked at comedy clubs and keep signing up for competitions. I don't think this is answering your question, but this is the way I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
It's long term, be a headliner. But right now, it is my main focus is get booked at these comedy clubs. Like going to St. Louis, it was like, oh, okay. No, we're not doing this again. I'm not gonna go up for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
For no money.
Yeah.
For driving 6 hours. Nah, fuck that. I'm going to be at a comedy club. There's a bar now for me. That's where I'm at comedy wise. I want to be a headliner, but I need to get at these comedy clubs to do that. And outside of comedy, get better at drawing. The drawing has made me a lot, really happy. Drawing, jujitsu, music, these podcasts, working on the short film stuff that we're about to work on. Like all of these extracurriculars, all of these things that have nothing to do with this career have made me actually brought like joy and fulfillment in my life in a way that I just didn't think about because I was in grind mode the whole time, especially last year. That's visiting Riverside to make this go full circle. That's a goal. That's a real goal. I need to visit. I need to do that.
You need to see the crash site.
Yeah. I need to see where I came from with a different lens, like with my current lens now. I need to see where I came from. I need to see how I feel there. I need to see what was I exaggerating, because I know I'm probably exaggerating something. What was I exaggerating? What's real? What's not? Seeing the comedy and comparing what I am now in Riverside doing comedy or LA or whatever. That's what I'm thinking. That's the goal. And I'm excited. And I don't have this hatred towards Riverside anymore. It's just a curiosity now. You're welcome, Johnny. Oh God. That was fun.